What's up YouTube, it is your boy Darriusofficiall and I am back with another YouTube video. So as you can see from the title below, this is my summer with Noah episode 2, and I just want to apologize for like the late upload. I was really sick last week when I was supposed to upload on Monday and I was just not able to do that. So yeah, I'm here now, and I also want to say thank you guys so much for like all of the feel better wishes and just, you know, all of the support and the love that you guys been sending my way. I really appreciate it. It really has been helping me just, you know, push through a little funk, and I'm feeling completely better. So I'm here to give you guys this video and I hope you guys really enjoy it. But enough of all of that talking. Well, okay, let me say this as well. Also too, this is episode 2, but you guys are also gonna get episode 3. But anyway, enough of all that talking, let's get straight into the story time. Okay, so if you guys remember from the last episode, me and Noah had not really gotten into it, but we kind of like, I stormed out of his house, and yeah, you guys were so mad because I left y'all on like a cliffhanger, but like I didn't care because, like, you know, I mean, hey, I gotta, you know, you can't give too much for the first episode. You gotta give the girl something. But yeah, so I end up storming out of Noah's house because the little bitch that he had got pregnant, but then he lied and said that he didn't get pregnant, or it's a lie. The bitch that was pregnant by Noah called his phone and she's like, what the fuck is that about? So anyway, let's pick up where we left off. Oh, it's cold. So you got a jacket or a hoodie? Okay. Gee, what a liquor. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go grab a blanket, but yeah, I decided I'm gonna get really comfortable with you guys throughout this video, and also episode 3, that I'm just gonna kind of be maneuvering around the place because I just want to be comfortable while I tell these stories. But basically, remember I had told you guys when I stormed out the house, he was like trying to grab my arm, trying to pull me back in. I'm like, no. Just really ignoring him. Like, he came outside all the way in his, well, he was just in his shorts, but like he was shirtless. I'm just like, wait, please go in the house, the neighbors are gonna see you, and I just can't. Like, take your ass in the house. But anyway, I was trying to call my Uber and he's coming outside and he's like, it's not what it looks like. It's like, it's not what it looks like. I don't know why she's calling me. Listen, I'm like not trying to hear shit. Like, Noah, get the fuck out of my face. I really don't care what you have to say right now. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't believe you because you just sat here and you told me when we were at the fucking festival that the bitch was lying on you and all of this and that, and then you randomly get a call while we're in the bed and then you don't answer it. You look at me as I'm looking at you, looking back at you, looking back at me, and you think I'm not gonna be pissed off? Are you kidding me? Like, that makes no sense. So I'm like, okay. So mind you, we're outside, we're in his driveway, and he like lived in like I told y'all, he lived in like this big ass house. So his driveway was like very long, and it was like covered by like not woods, but like a whole bunch of trees, and then like the neighbor's house was like on the opposite side of where the trees were. So like I'm all the way at the end of the fucking driveway, and I'm sitting there on my phone trying to fucking call my Uber, and this bastard's still trying to talk to me and trying to plead this fucking case, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. No, like, I don't want to hear it at all. So I end up calling my Uber, the fucking Uber saying that it's like 13 minutes away. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just called my Uber. He was like, so you really about to leave? You don't want to hear what I have to say? Like, no, I don't believe you, because everything that you're saying is a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, literally everything that's coming out of your mouth is shit. And he's still just trying to plead his case, saying how if we can just go back in the house, he can explain why she called and all this and that, and I just don't want to hear it. Y'all, we're literally sitting outside the whole time up until my Uber came. My Uber comes and pulls up. I'm opening up the door. This man Noah grabs my arm and yanks me the fuck out of the car. Like, literally yanked. Like, I was like, is it giving Icantina? Is it giving Icantina turn? Are you trying to put your hands on me? Because you can go to jail, literally. Anyway, so the Uber driver's it was a guy. He's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And I'm like pushing off of me. I'm like, get the fuck off of me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Don't ever grab me like that. Don't grab me like that. Like, no, I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't grab me like that. Because like, he pulled me so fucking hard. Like, and maybe it's just because I'm skinny as fuck and like he was big as shit. I'm just little as fuck, but still, like, I'm not your fucking child. So he's like, you're not listening to me. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm not about to let you get in this Uber. I was like, well, I'm getting in this Uber, so I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but I'm about to get in this Uber and I'm about to go. I'm about to get in this Uber and I'm about to go home. And he's like, no, you're not. Y'all, we're sitting outside. Like, I felt so slow because like I'm steady trying to get in the Uber, and he's like has me in like this bear hug sort of from like, so from my back, like I was kind of like facing towards the Uber and he was behind me just grabbing me like this, and I'm just sitting there like, and the damn Uber driver's like, is everything all right? And I'm just like, no, like, I'm trying to go home. He's not allowing me to go home. Why the fuck? The Uber driver's like, well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to call another one. I can't deal with all of this violence and everything. I'm like, so you gon' tell me to call another Uber? What type of person are you? Should have called the police. Like, what if I was really hurt, or I was really being harmed? But anyway, so the Uber pulls off. The Uber pulls off, and the only thing in my head is, this nigga got me fucked up. And I also just paid $23 for this Uber. I need to be reimbursed, or it needs to come back on my card. So we're still just sitting out there, like, he's still just grabbing me like really tight, and I'm just like, dude, I'm like, yo, can you let me go? Like, can you let me go? And he's like, no, not until you tell me that you want to listen. I turned around and I said, no, I have no choice but to listen right now, like at all. You literally have me in a fucking bear hug and you're not letting me go. So he's like, okay, well, let's go back in the house. I'm like, no, I wasn't trying to go in the house. Y'all, when I tell y'all, this nigga literally picked me up like this, carried my little ass in the house all the way upstairs into his room and locked his door. So now I'm just sitting there salty as fuck. I'm not even in the bed. I'm sitting on the floor, like literally on the floor. And I'm just like, and he's, mind y'all, his room is like really big. So he's like, I keep telling y'all, like he has like this hallway. So when you walk in the room, it's like this long hallway sort of. And then, but it's like it's like 2 rooms. I don't know how to really explain it, but it's like 2 rooms, but like a big long hallway. And then you get to the room. And yeah, I was in the room already. Like when he threw me in the room, I was just like, okay. Like I was about to leave back out, but he's got his arms like this covering the door so I won't get past. So I'm like, whatever. So I go in the room, I go sit on the floor, and he's still by the door. Cause I'm thinking that he's thinking that I'm gonna try to leave back out, but I'm like, you know, whatever. So yeah, he ends up maybe like after literally like 11 minutes of me sitting on the floor, I'm just on my phone, like I'm just blue. I wish I had somebody to text, but I couldn't because nobody knew about the whole situation with me and him. So he ends up walking up towards me. Mind you, he's coming from the door now. He's end up walking up towards me, and he literally snatches my phone and throws it on the bed. And he sits right in front of me, like crisscross, and was like, "Are you ready to listen?" And I'm like, no, what? What the fuck do you have to tell me now? So I'm like, go ahead, go. What's up? I'm getting pissed off again. He's like, he basically says that he doesn't know why she was calling him. And as soon as he said that, I said, so then call her back. I said, why didn't you answer? Why didn't you answer the phone? Because I'm pretty sure if I wasn't here, you would have answered, right? Am I doing a lot? Do you think I'm doing too much? Like, let me know. And he's like, well, no, I wouldn't answer regardless. I'm not about to call her back. She just does too much, such and such. So then what the fuck does she want? He told me she always calls, I never answer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you don't see how that seems weird, Noah? How a girl that you haven't had sex with in almost a year or over a year pops up on social media, says that pregnant, says that you're the father. You also supposedly were the one who took her virginity, or you were the one who took her virginity. All of this is going around and she's blowing up your phone. You don't think that sounds weird? There's something else to the story that you're not telling me, literally. At this point, he's looking at me like a fucking deer in headlights, and I'm just like, you wanted to have this conversation, so come on. Like, what is it about? What, you know? And he's just literally just sitting there looking so stupid, and it was just pissing me off because every time I looked at him, I just felt like he was lying, and like I just didn't even want to, like, you know, I was like, God. So when I asked him, I said, it seems like there's something more to the story that you were telling me. And he's like, okay, you're right. I'm like, I'm right? He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, about what? He like, about that there's more to the story that I'm not telling you. So then fucking tell me, bozo. Let me know before I waste my time and I get to swinging on you in this bitch. So I asked him, I said, what else is it, Noah, that you're not telling me? This man looks at me in my face, tells me that a week before that first party that me and him went together. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that party? Episode, I mean, not the episode, but the first story time that I start talking about Noah, remember that party? A week before that party, he was at another kickback. He was drunk, she was drunk, and that they kissed. Not no regular kiss, like a tongue me down moment. As soon as he said that, I looked at him, I got up, I grabbed my phone off the bed, I start walking to the bedroom. I start walking to the door. See, we're switching positions. As I'm walking to the bedroom door, I start to open it, but I hear him like really close behind me, and he just closes it back, like he shuts it back and locks the door and moves me to the side again and stands in front of the door. I'm just like, Noah, can you please just stop? Can you move? Can you get out the way, please? And he's like, no, like, you're not listening to the full story. I'm like, there's nothing else that I need to hear. You basically just told me everything that I needed to know. You made it seem like you haven't spoke to this girl in so long, or that you haven't even saw her, and you have. You literally saw her a week before me and you kind of hit it off, like, and you don't think that's something that you should mention when it comes to somebody saying that you have a kid with them? Like, and he's like, I didn't want to tell you because I knew that you would get upset, and she's really crazy, nothing more happened than that and everything. I'm like, no, I don't know if I could believe you, because if you, that was something simple that I feel like you could have told me, that I feel like I would have understood a lot of things with. But you sat there and lied to me the first time when we were just at the festival, and basically saying like there was nothing that went on. But you kissed her at a kickback. I understand like you were drunk, but that's not an excuse. Well, actually, it's not even that it's an excuse or not. Me and you had nothing going on at that time, but also too, that's, you don't have to lie to me, you know? I'm nobody that you should feel like you should lie to. So now I'm just looking at him, I'm just so disappointed. I'm just like, bro, like I really thought you was different. Like you seem so cool, you know, but I feel like if you lie about this, then you would lie about anything. And he's just really trying to plead his case like, no, it's not like that. I'm sorry, like I could literally call her right now and see what she's talking about. Like if you want me to, I could call her right now in front of you. Like it's nothing. And I wanted him to, but then I just told him, I'm like, no. Because in my head, like I knew like if, let's say that if something was really going on, I didn't want to get my feelings hurt for real. So I was just like, I'm just like, no. So I'm just like, you it's cool, you ain't gotta call her. I'm like, I'm still about to go home though. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I want to go home because like you just lying, you know. And like I already haven't seen you in like a week or haven't, however long it was, and you're lying like right off bat. Like it's just weird. So I don't know. I told him, I'm like, yeah, no, I just want to go home. Can you send me my $23 back for my Uber? And he's like no, like can you stay, can you spend the night? And I'm just like, I don't want to stay here because I'm going to, I don't know how to fake the funk. I have in my feelings right now. I have a fucking attitude. I really don't want to talk to you. I'm mad at you. And yeah, you want me to sit here with you? Like, no, I can't do that. Mind you, we're still by the door. No, after I keep telling him like I just want to go home, like I just rather call my Uber, he was like, okay, fine, I'll let you go home, but let me be the one to take you home. I'm like, all right, you can take me home. So he's like, all right, let me go grab my keys. So he goes, mind you, we're by the door, so he walks down the little hallway, he goes in his room, grabs his keys, he put on his shoes, put on his shirt, stuff like that. And then he's walking back towards my way, so I just open up the door and I'm about to walk out the room, and he's behind me. And then I just remember, as I'm walking, he grabs my arm like this, like by my wrist. He turns me around, grabs my face, and start kissing me. And y'all, like I know, like I know I should have stayed mad, but like I still was mad, but like I just couldn't resist it. Like he was just so fine. I'm just like, so I grabbed his face back and I kissed him, and then like he picked me up. Mind you, we just like outside of the room door, like not even to the stairs yet. And he picks me up, turns back around, walks me back in the room, closes the door behind him, locks it, and walks me straight to the bed, takes off my clothes. He takes off his clothes, kissing me. He grabs me like this by my arm, moves me up to the top of the bed where the headboard is. And he gets between my leg, pulls the cover up behind him like this, kissing me, goes down on me, eats me out. Foreplay lasted for a good minute. And then we're just kissing, and he was like slowly sliding it in, and he had sex. And as we're having sex, I just remember it being so passionate and like so slow. A lot of eye contact was made. And maybe like literally like and maybe like the last minute of us having sex, by this time I was on my stomach. And he had like his arm wrapped around my neck like this, and he whispered in my ear and said, I only want you. And I whispered back and said, prove it. And he just was like going really slow and deep, and then he nutted. It was like, oh shit, wow, this is a time to be alive. It was crazy. It was so crazy, but it was a good time. But it was like I was still mad, right? I was still mad. But after that, when he pulled out, he got up and he left out the room for a minute. Mind y'all, his mom's gone. I don't know if y'all was thinking, but if you watched the last story time, then you know his mom was gone. But he leaves out the room for a minute, he comes back, and I was just kind of sitting there like, I don't know, like have you ever felt like weird after having sex? Not in like a bad way, but it's just like kind of like awkward, sort of, if that makes sense. I was just kind of like that. Like I don't know, like I felt like cut open sort of, but not necessarily in a bad way. I just kind of felt like, you know, just naked. I don't know. So yeah, he walks back in the room and he's like, come on. And I'm like, okay. And like he grabs my hand and he leads me, and then we go out the room into the bathroom across the hall, and he turns on the shower, and then we get in the shower and we're just sitting there showering. And I think he knew that I was still very upset because he was trying not to really like bug me much, I guess you can say. He asked me if I was okay, and I was just like, and he was like, okay. And yeah, we were just showering, and yeah, and then He gave me a towel. He put on his towel. We walked back to the bedroom and he gave me a pair of his pajamas. I put on my pajama. I put on the pajamas. He put on shorts, left his t-shirt off. And I'm just sitting there just like looking so stupid, sort of. Cause like I told you I always get like embarrassed. I don't know why. Like, so I'm just sitting there kind of like leaned on a door frame and his bed's like right there in that area. And he gets in the bed and he's like laying like this against the headboard and he's just like, come here. So I'm just like, so I walk over there in his arms and yeah. I text my mom that I wasn't coming home that night. I didn't get in trouble though that night. Anyway, I ended up falling asleep and then I ended up waking up in the middle of the night at like, it was like 3 a.m. I believe, and Noah was still woke. He was just kind of like, I don't know, like he was just like touching my face. Like it was weird. Like I was laying on his chest and he's just kind of like, it wasn't weird, but he was just like kind of like caressing my face and like rubbing my head and stuff like that. But I was like, okay. And he was like, how was your nap? And I was like, it was fine. He was like, okay. And then as I'm laying there, like as he's like rubbing my head, I asked him, I'm like, I look up and I asked him, I said, you sure y'all don't have anything going on? And he looked at me, he was like, I promise you we don't. Like nothing. Like okay. Like okay. And then he hugged me tighter and we just laid there and then I fell back to sleep. I woke up the next morning, it was like 9 a.m. Noah was still asleep. And I'm just like, I just know I had to leave. So I ended up waking him up and telling him like, I have to go. It's early. I got a big day of myself ahead of me, which I really did. I needed to go find me a summer job because I'm like, bitch, I need to be working for real. I need to find me a summer job. So I'm like, you know, whatever. So he ended up getting up and then we ended up getting in the car after I changed my clothes and everything. And then he ended up dropping me off back at home. It's 9 a.m. I walk in the house. My mom's woke. I'm like, hey mom. She's like, hey, how was your night? What'd you do? I told her everything. And then yeah, I started my day. I got everything together and then I ended up leaving out maybe like at 12, like noon, with my friend, and we literally went around like looking for like jobs. This is so funny, but we ended up looking for jobs and stuff. And yeah, remember my friends I was telling you guys about, Selena, Kylie, and Jalissa? So I was with Selena and yeah, like we were just literally driving around looking for jobs and everything, like places that we could apply for. We went to so many places, like food trucks to like coffee shops, smoothie shops, stuff like that, just looking for jobs. And yeah, as we're like driving around looking for our last place to go apply for a job, Selena leans over and she like, Selena's driving, because at the time I didn't have a car, but Selena ends up asking me, she's like, what's been going on with you lately? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you just been you feel like you've been acting a little weird. I'm like, how so? She was like, I don't know, just this whole week you just been a little off. Like, seemed like your mind been somewhere else. Like, no, I've been chilling, I've been good, I've been cool. And she was like, oh, okay, because it seems like it is, like you've been a little off. I'm like, no. But she was just telling me how basically I don't seem like I've been being normal for the past week, and I'm just like, girl, like I've been feeling like I've been doing cool. I don't know about you, but whatever. But I already know she been peeping game low key. Like she don't know exactly what's going on, but she knows somebody got me feeling some type of way, and that's fine because baby, you're my best friend. But I'm still not gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna tell you. So you better be Mr. So you better be Mr. Inspector Gadget and get it together, sister. But yeah, this is when I end up finding a job at KFC, and I started working at KFC. And basically I end up going to KFC. I end up applying for a job. That was the last place that we went to, and my best friend, she didn't want to apply for the job right then and there, so she didn't, because she's like, I don't want to work at KFC. But I'm like, bitch, I need money, like I'm gonna do it. You want some gangsters at your motherfucking house? Bitch off. Anyway, so I end up yeah, going to KFC. I end up applying, and I literally got hired right on the spot. I was like, I have a job. Like literally, I was so happy. It was like really my first job ever, for real, like my first job ever, to where like I get direct deposit, and it's like, yeah, bitch, I'm grown. And yeah, so so me and my best friend end up getting back home, and I end up going back to my house down the street, and I end up just laying down in my bed because I was like really tired from like ripping and running and everything. And I end up getting a call from Noah, and we get on the phone, and he's just like, yeah, what's up with you? What did you do today and everything? I'm like, I just was chilling. I went look for jobs and stuff, and I end up getting a job. He's like, oh yeah, where? I'm like, KFC. I'm gonna be flipping chicken, yeah. And he's like, well, that's good. What are your hours? I'm like, I don't know yet, but I know that I start next week, so be prepared to not see me, pal. But no, no, just kidding. But yeah, as we're sitting on the phone though, he ends up asking me why I never invite him over to my house. And I had to explain to him, like, I live in a 3-bedroom flat house, like no upstairs, no downstairs. It was pretty spacious for like a flat, but like we had 2 living rooms. I had a living room, we had a living room, and then we had a family room, a big ass kitchen, you know, a garage, a shed, nice big backyard. It had 2 bathrooms. It was like, you know, it was the time to be alive. Like, it was a cute little house. But I was basically explaining to him, is like, my house is like, it's cool and everything, but we have nowhere to really be like out of people's face. Like, yeah, I have my own room, but I also still have 2 other brothers that live here, or a younger brother that live here, and my 2 other brothers be in and out the house like all the time. Like, they basically live here. One sleeps on that couch and the other one just be in and out the house. My mom's always patrolling the damn hallway, so it's like I would prefer to be at your house because it's a little bit more private, and also to yeah, I'm not ready to explain to everybody that I like boys, so sorry. I'm just like, you know, even though he was like more DL than I was, of course, because like he really had some shit to be DL about, but I mean, at the time I did too, but it was just like his house was so much bigger. Like, literally, boy, you stay in a fucking mansion, so it's like you have fucking 1,100 different ways to exit out your fucking house and enter your fucking house. Like, your mom hardly if ever sees us, and the only time that she would see us is if we bump into her at the damn door. So it's like, I just prefer to be at your house. And he's like, yeah, I get that, I understand. I was like, okay, cool. By this time, me and this boy done talked on the phone for about 2 hours about really nothing. And yeah, it ended up getting like, I think like 7 o'clock at this time, like 7 o'clock p.m. and ended up getting off the phone. My mom ended up calling me in the damn kitchen so that we could have a talk. She was cooking and she wanted to talk about something. I'm like, okay. So I walk in the kitchen and she's like, now that you have a job, you know you're gonna have to start paying for stuff, right? And I'm like, fuck, I don't even want to work anymore, bastard. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, she's like, yeah, there's bills that, you know, I could really use some help with around here. And I'm like, okay, I got you. It wasn't nothing too much. She just wanted me to pay like the Wi-Fi bill. But at that time, had being my first job, like $80 for Wi-Fi seemed a lot. So I was like, girl, you want me to pay this? Girl. She was like, you could either pay the Wi-Fi bill or you could pay your own phone bill. Pick your poison. I'm like, So I started paying my own phone bill. And she wanted to have a conversation about, like, she see I was around her a lot. Like, that's my best friend, and she's like, do you like her? And I was like, and in my head, the only thing that's running through my head is, y'all people don't even fucking know that I'm having a fucking affair. I'm having a fucking entanglement with the boy on the basketball team, with a boy from high school, with a boy from school, a boy who supposedly got some girl pregnant. And you guys don't understand, like, that makes me feel, because, like, I think you guys really understand, like, this is not your typical person that, like, you guys think that I just really want to be with. It's like, I really like him, and I really like big deal, and it's like, I don't know what to do, because everything's just falling apart. So you guys need to leave me the fuck alone, and leave me be. Yeah, that's the only thing that was really going through my head, like, when she having a conversation. I'm like, girl, Selena doesn't like me. And I was like, and she's like, yes, she does. And I'm like, she doesn't, ma. She was like, trust me, I know girls, and I know how they act around certain guys that they like, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, she was like, I was once you guys' age, and blah, blah. I'm like, the girl don't like me. Like, shut up, girl, because I like somebody else. I think she know it, because she better show it. But yeah. Anyway, we had that little talk. I ate my dinner, and then I ended up going to bed by like 10 o'clock, literally, because I was just so tired from the day. Like, I was just so tired, y'all, for real, no joke. Okay, so we're switching positions. So the next morning I end up waking up, and Noah ends up, I woke up, I had like so many missed calls from Noah. It's like, boy, what do you want? What do you want now? Like, what do you want? Like, keep calling me Bookie Butt because I miss you. So he's just basically like, so I end up calling him back, and I'm like half asleep. I think it's like 8 o'clock at this time. And he's like, why aren't you answering your phone? I'm like, cause I'm asleep. 8 o'clock in the morning, what do you want? I haven't even got to brush my tongue yet. And he's like, I want you to come somewhere with me later. I was like, where to? He was like, it's a surprise. I was like, okay, but like where? He was like, it's a surprise. You just be ready by 6 o'clock. And I was like, 6 o'clock? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'll be ready by 6 o'clock, Bookie Butt. So he ended up hanging up. I ended up going back to sleep for like another hour. I woke up, did my daily routine, whatever, blah, 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 such and such. 6 o'clock came, was outside like that, literally. I ended up telling my mom, I'm like, I'm about to go hang out with one of my friends. She's like, what are y'all about to do? I'm like, I don't know. Apparently we just, she's like, okay, well, be safe. Let me know what's going on. I'm like, all right. I get in the car and Noah has like on, oh, also let me tell you guys, he told me to wear something comfortable. I'm like, what do you mean like comfortable? He's like sweats and gym shoes and like a t-shirt. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what the fuck are we about to go do? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I'm like, what are we doing? So I end up going out to the car and I see that he has on like damn near the same thing, like sweats, gym shoes, and a t-shirt. So I'm like, okay, what are we about to do? Like, we're about to go fucking skydive. I don't even know if this is the tire for that, but like, what the fuck are we out there? Like, what's going on? About to go run a mile or something. So he's like, just be quiet, it's a surprise. I'm like, okay. We get in the car and we're just driving. I don't know where I'm going at this point. Like, literally, I just know this boy is taking me somewhere. We were driving for like literally 40 minutes. 40 fucking minutes. Do you know how long that is in Chicago at that? I'm like, Noah, where are we going? So we ended up going downtown Chicago. End up pulling up to like this building that kind of looks like, I don't know, it's just like some type of corporate building, but it had, you know, you have different different, I can't fucking speak. You know how you have different businesses inside of one building? It was something like that. So I'm like, okay. So by this time, it's like almost 7 o'clock when we made it there. He parks, we get out the car, and we walk in the building, and we're going all the way to like the back of the building to like this freight elevator that's like way off the end of the building. Like, it was so weird, like it was so rinky-dink. And we get on the elevator and Noah presses B. I noticed that he pressed B for basement. So we go down all the way to the basement, and it's just like this long ass hallway with like different rooms. It wasn't really like different rooms, there's maybe like 4 different rooms, but the room that he took us to was like, it was like a empty kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, not warehouse, but it wasn't a warehouse. So get that out y'all head. I don't want to say warehouse because it wasn't a warehouse. The room that we ended up going into was like a just like an empty room with like hella wood and hella paint, but like you could tell like it was like being renovated, sort of like they were fixing it. Like the walls were just plain old white walls, and it was like wood planks on the ground and stuff like that, and like just, you know, like tools and paint and stuff. I was like, what is this? I was like, Noah, what is this? And he's like, this is the surprise. And I was like, what's the surprise? And so he walks away, he grabs like a white apron sort of for me, and then he grabbed one for himself as well. He picks up a paintbrush, hands it to me, and then he grabs a paintbrush for himself. And I'm like, I said, this is the surprise, like we're about to paint. Like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, not just paint, but make it unique. And I was like, make what unique? Wait, and I say, wait, make what unique? This is one of my uncle's units, and he basically wanted to turn into like an art room, but not like regular art, like art where when people come in, they make a unique something on like the walls. So that it was weird. It wasn't weird, it was like I get what he was saying, but I was like, okay, so is this why we're here? He's like, yeah. Like, he's like, my uncle wanted me to do it, and he wanted me to do it with him, but I told him, is it okay if I bring somebody that I really want to make art with? And I'm like, oh, so me? He's like, yeah. Okay. I was still a little confused, but I'm just like, okay. So as I'm sitting there, like, he can tell, like, I was kind of like, so I'm like, okay, so what type of art are we making? Like, I don't get it. And he dips the damn paintbrush in the red paint and says, art like this, and flicks the paint on me in my face. And I'm like, or I grab my paintbrush and I dip it in red paint. I say, or art like this, and I just wipe it down his face. And it was so like, after thinking about it now, like, it was like so corny, but in that moment it was like, it was kind of cute because like we were flirting. So I'm like, okay, you know. So there was plastic paper all just laid down on the floor, and yeah, after our little flirting sesh, I went to one wall and he went to the other. Ended up playing music on the speaker that was there. It was really a vibe, and it was really like dope. And so we start painting on the walls, and I just kind of painted like this the blue Sagittarius symbol for my little sister, because my little sister passed away. And like, I don't know, like when I get like any type of tool for art or anything, I always take it like really serious, because I really like to draw and I like to get creative. So, you know, like I'd be like, okay, yeah, we're doing something serious. I turn around to see what Noah's painting, and I remember seeing 2 stick figures with like an umbrella. It was so weird. So I end up walking up to him, and I'm like, what are you, I'm like, what is this? Like, what are you making? And he's like, oh, I'm making like a symbol of love, like of a couple. Like, okay, like where are they? I'm like, where are they faces? I was like, where are they faces? Like, it's just stick figures. He was like, I feel like if I make faces, then I'm gonna have to describe what the couple looks like, and I don't want to do that. I was like, why not make the girl with like long hair and, you know, the guy with like a short cut? And he was like, because he was like, love isn't just straight. And I was like, huh? And he was like, I would rather keep it like this, just a silhouette basically, versus putting an image towards it and people just think that it's that. Love should be love. And I was like, okay, Noah, love should be love. So I'm like, okay, so what's going on? He's like, well, this is a couple. One of the couple is being rained on because they're having a bad day, and the other person here with the sun trying to make their day brighter. I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, but he definitely explained it better than what it looked like, because it was two fucking stick figures, no face. You just see a circle head with a damn body, a damn skinny ass body, some bitch holding a damn umbrella, one motherfucker holding a damn umbrella, and then the other motherfucker got the sun. Like, what the hell is going on? Is it the best of both worlds? But yeah, it was really dope. It was really cute, sweet. It was like really dope. We were having a great time, y'all. A great time. Music was playing, everything. And then the security guard of the building ended up like banging on the door with a flashlight. And I looked at Noah like, what the hell's going on? He was like, on my count of 3, run. And I was like, run? He's like, yeah. He goes to the damn door. He opens up the door for the security guard. Y'all was so scared. I'm like, run. Like, for what? Security guard was like, you're trespassing. You shouldn't be here. And so Noah was like, 3. He didn't even count. And I just took off running, and he took off running too, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Y'all almost went to jail this night. It was so bad. But anyway, that's it for this story time. That is it for episode 2. Make sure that you tune into episode 3, which you guys will be seeing very soon. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, click that bell on the side so that you can be notified. Make sure to tell a friend or two because it's good for you. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for watching. I will see y'all in my next YouTube video. Bye.